It brings value to my life in a way or ways that other things can't. But yeah, it's all about generally appreciating a healthy lifestyle in this beautiful area that we live in.
I've been all over the globe cycling, and wherever I go, cycling connects people.
Get out of the office from time to time, and cycling just kind of allows me to do that. Get the competitive side going and just get out here and have a ton of fun.
Do a little bit of reflection.
Does it feel good when you do it? Good exercise, good social activity. Well, it keeps me mentally safe.
As somebody that commutes but also does tourism, is it slows things down. You cannot see any city the same that you can on a bicycle. It just changes the world.
It's really the best way to experience a foreign culture.
What I like about it?
Yeah, I actually commute to work, and I think that's probably my favorite thing, is that it wakes me up in the morning.
So what do you like about cycling? You know?
I like when I'm biking with my family.
Like, what do you value about it?
Well, number one is healthy for you. Number two is environmentally friendly. Number three, I think it makes the city much more friendly for everybody.
The thing I really like about cycling is just getting out and doing something that's active, and also just being able to travel around the city.
Well, I like to get exercise, I like to get outdoors. Usually a uplifting experience to come down here and see the water and see the birds and the wildlife and the people.
Riding. I mean, when I was 5 years old.
Started as a young kid back in the northeastern United States in New York, where I grew up.
The neighbor's bike that I borrowed because everybody else could ride and I couldn't. So I got on the bike and went down a little hill on my driveway and figured it out. Well, I cycled when I was a kid. Started cycling seriously about 10 years ago. Since I was a kid, just to get away from a crappy household.
Years and years and years ago, I've been cycling all my life. Everything. Like, I've been doing it since I was like 4. Dad bought a BMX bike and said, "Here, you're gonna go race BMX now." And I said, "Okay."
So I had a crappy bike as a kid, right? And then when I was 12 or 13, we were told by my parents that we were in trouble and that we all needed to be home at 3 o'clock or whatever it was. And I was asking my brother Jeff and my sister Leon, what did you do? I didn't do anything. What did you do? And my dad rolled in the driveway with 3 10-speeds.
Oh, wow.
Changed my life forever.
Here's where I started at the small bike park on the football field.
I got my first bike, I guess, probably like 6 years ago, but it wasn't a road bike.
I reached my maybe mid-20s, and I was living in the Midwest at the time, and I gathered with a small group of friends from back in New York, and we'd make bicycle tours throughout the West.
2 years ago, my roommate at the time got a bike, and so I joined him and started biking.
Once I get closer to my race, so once I'm getting closer, just to give some break to my knees and stuff and get some leg power. Plus, it makes you happy, so why not?
Right. Then I kind of really wanted to get out and do something and change my life and lose some weight and just kind of get out there and have fun. And that's kind of why I decided to get into cycling. I had done it in college a little bit, and then I kind of started getting serious about 3 years ago. So it's changed everything. Lost like 60 pounds and feel good and everything else. So
That's awesome.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, as others have no doubt mentioned, the roads have gotten a lot better, especially around Mercer. They've done a lot of fix-ups on the Burke-Gilman Trail. Just more awareness campaigns and better roads, I think. Continuing that.
Probably just the quality of the roads.
More bike lanes.
More dedicated, physically separated bicycle lanes. It's not very good the way it is in most places in the city.
Definitely some of the main streets still are lacking bike lanes down on Elliott Bay, like the waterfront. And I used to bike that all the time. I used to commute it and there's no bike lane there and it's super sketchy. Going like under 99 is like really dangerous. And I've been ran off the road before right there. And
For me, I'm happy the way it is, to be honest.
Are there any changes you'd want to see for the biking community? No? It's good as it is?
So what we need here is a lot more awareness and education. Cycling should be treated as an integral part of the transportation system.
Well, cycling in any cities kind of can be challenging because you're sharing pavement with cars. Most drivers are very considerate.
I think that incentive programs, both from like government and from like maybe workplaces, would be a good thing to do. It would definitely encourage more people to cycle if they had like bike racks and maybe like showers.
Safety is always first and foremost. There have been great strides, made in terms of making it safer, making the trail safer.
But being out here on Alki, and I ride this all the time, the most vulnerable user, we don't have our heads wrapped around the most vulnerable user. Sometimes it's a cyclist, sometimes it's a pedestrian, sometimes it's somebody in a wheelchair. Is just that we just get a little more courteous.
And then as far as the rest, man, it's all about people watching out and not doing crap on their cell phones. I'm in healthcare and I'm a speech pathologist and I have a kid that's 23 years old and he was hit by somebody who was looking at their cell phone.
More education in our citizens with regards to cycling, because a lot of people are like, oh, cyclers are in the way, and it's like we are to focus on driving and, just educate, the population about, the benefits of cycling and understanding why people are doing it.
One other piece, I know that the Pronto, the bike share program, is struggling here. I've used it in many cities, like Lyon, France, Copenhagen, and Amsterdam. We need to expand those type of programs.
In my opinion, everybody should embrace the bike, whether you ride or not, because the bike can add a lot of value to everybody's lives. Not only health and fitness, but transportation issues, less pollution, better parking, physically, mentally, the whole thing.
One other thing that I'll just add is there's a program called Major Taylor that's part of the Cascade Bike Club that gets underserved youth that might not get into cycling. And that's where I think is another big way to push and change cycling is to bring it into elementary schools and middle schools.
More bike paths and safer bike paths.
Yeah.
That would be it.
Hopefully one day we'll get there. So.
One day.
Yes.
Okay, we're all good.
That's it.
Yeah.